The first and most important Amish kitchen hack isn't a tool or a trick, it's a mindset. The Amish kitchen is built on radical simplicity, and this deliberate stripping away of clutter is what makes every other hack possible. There are no electric can openers, no drawer full of plastic gadgets, no blinking appliances crowding the countertops. What you will find are cast iron pans, hand-cranked mixers, well-used wooden spoons, and clean, open workspaces. The Amish believe that fewer tools, chosen with care and used with skill, make for better, faster, and more meaningful cooking. So, before anything else, the first hack is declutter your kitchen and commit to the essentials. This might seem like common sense, but it's revolutionary in a world where kitchens are overflowing with air fryers, pressure cookers, and devices that only get used twice a year. In contrast, the Amish use multi-purpose tools that stand the test of time. A hand-cranked egg beater works just as well in 2025 as it did in 1825, and it never breaks, overheats, or adds to your electric bill. Their favorite knife isn't part of a 12-piece set. It's one or two blades, sharp and well-loved, used for everything from slicing pie crust to butchering chickens. The simplicity also extends to ingredients. Amish cooks stock their pantries with staples: flour, sugar, salt, lard, baking soda, molasses, oats, and vinegar. And from that short list, they produce an endless variety of meals, desserts, and snacks. This isn't a limitation, it's a superpower. Knowing how to make 5 different dishes with the same 6 ingredients saves money, time, and mental energy. The Amish don't chase the latest kitchen trend or spend hours scrolling for new recipes. They master the basics and repeat them with confidence, which makes daily cooking faster and less stressful. In the Amish kitchen, nothing is wasted. Not space, not time, not energy. And once you embrace that foundational hack, simplicity, everything else becomes easier. You move with purpose. You clean as you go. You know where everything is. Your tools don't buzz or beep, but they work every time. And instead of being overwhelmed by choice, you become grounded by tradition. That's the secret behind every delicious loaf of bread and hearty pot of stew coming out of an Amish home. A return to simplicity that turns the kitchen from a place of stress into a place of joy. Amish food prep in bulk, cooking once, eating for days. One of the most brilliant Amish kitchen hacks that modern families desperately need to adopt is batch cooking. Not the trendy kind that fills your freezer with plastic containers, but the old-school, down-to-earth method that feeds large families every day with minimal stress. Amish women don't cook one meal at a time. They cook in bulk, on purpose, with a rhythm that saves hours over the course of a week. A single dough recipe becomes 10 loaves of bread. A pot of beans becomes the base for multiple dinners. A roasting pan of chicken is pulled, shredded, and transformed into sandwiches, soups, and casseroles. It's all about working smart, not scrambling daily. This isn't just about saving time. It's about saving fuel, effort, and cleanup. If the oven is on, it's baking multiple things. If the pot is boiling, it's filled to the top. Instead of cooking 3 meals a day from scratch, Amish kitchens operate on a rotating cycle. Monday might be baking day, where dozens of cookies, pies, or loaves are made for the week. Tuesday might be soup and stew day. Leftovers are never seen as second-tier meals. They're cleverly repurposed. A stew thickens into pot pie filling. Extra cornbread is crumbled and toasted for stuffing. Everything feeds into the next meal. This approach also means using big equipment that lasts. Amish kitchens often include massive mixing bowls, oversized measuring cups, deep roasting pans, and enamelware that's been passed down for generations. These aren't decorative. Many Amish homes have a cold pantry or root cellar where these prepped foods are stored safely and used strategically. And because many Amish families have 6, 8, or even 10 children, every kitchen hack is designed to scale up and work under pressure. So the modern household of 3 or 4 people can benefit even more. The magic of this bulk system is how little it relies on packaged food. Everything starts with raw ingredients: flour, eggs, lard, beans, vegetables, meat. From there, an Amish cook turns out dozens of meals from a few hours of work. It's efficient, satisfying, and deeply economical. No takeout, no emergency frozen meals, just planning, rhythm, and knowing how to stretch a roast into 3 dinners. This is how the Amish feed big families without stress, without excess, and without ever asking, "What should we eat tonight?" Because the answer is already prepared, warmed, and waiting. Canning and preserving, the Amish pantry hack that saves thousands. If there's one kitchen hack that defines Amish tradition, it's the art of food preservation, specifically canning. Amish homes don't depend on refrigerators and freezers the way most households do. Instead, they rely on shelves lined with jars, row after row of hand-sealed meals, sauces, fruits, vegetables, meats, soups, and jams that can last for years. It's not just about survival. It's about saving money, reducing waste, and always having food on hand. Canning transforms a glut of summer produce into ready-to-eat meals in the dead of winter, and it's done without fancy gadgets, preservatives, or store-bought kits. Amish families often devote entire days to canning, especially after harvest. Tomatoes are peeled and simmered into thick sauces and salsas. Cucumbers become crisp, garlicky pickles. Apples are cooked down into butter or sauce. Even leftover chicken is pressure canned and stored for soups and stews. And because they cook in bulk, they fill dozens of jars in one session. Water bath canners bubbling on the stove, towels stacked beside counters for wiping rims, and children helping label and organize the pantry shelves. Every jar is sealed with care, tested for freshness, and labeled with the date. This method isn't just about food security, it's also about speed. When you've had a long day, you don't need to cook from scratch. You reach for a jar of stew, pop the lid, warm it up, and dinner is served in 10 minutes. Need dessert? Open a jar of peaches or pie filling. Side dish? Green beans or pickled beets are waiting. There's something deeply satisfying about seeing a full shelf of preserved meals, knowing that you won't have to run to the store for every little thing. And because it's all homemade, there's no added sugar, preservatives, or chemicals, just pure food. The beauty of Amish canning is in its accessibility. You don't need electricity to do it, just a big pot, some jars, and a knowledge of timing and cleanliness. It's a tradition passed from mother to daughter, and it builds both skills and security. The modern world pushes for fast food and prepackaged meals, but the Amish show us a better way. Preserve what you grow, save what you can't eat now, and build a pantry that protects your wallet, your health, and your peace of mind. Homemade is always cheaper, the Amish rule that changes everything. At the heart of every Amish kitchen is a powerful practical rule. If you can make it yourself, don't buy it. This isn't just a cultural preference. It's a deeply ingrained lifestyle hack that dramatically reduces grocery bills and increases food quality. The average Amish kitchen produces almost everything from scratch, not just meals, but ingredients most people buy without thinking. We're talking homemade bread, butter, noodles, granola, yogurt, mayonnaise, pickles, ketchup, salad dressings, jams, and even peanut butter. These are not luxury skills. They're everyday survival tools that give the Amish complete control over what goes into their food and what stays out. Let's take bread, for example. Amish women bake multiple loaves at once, using flour, water, salt, yeast, and sometimes lard or molasses. That's it. No preservatives, no emulsifiers, no long ingredient lists. And the cost? Pennies per loaf. The same goes for noodles, made with flour and eggs, rolled out with a wooden pin, sliced by hand or with a simple cutter, and left to dry on a towel. Even snack foods are made the old-fashioned way. Popcorn is popped on a stovetop with real butter. Cookies and pies are made in bulk and stored in tins or pie safes. Pudding is cooked from milk, sugar, and cornstarch. Drinks? Instead of soda or sports drinks, you'll find homemade lemonade, fruit shrubs, and herbal teas. These aren't just cheaper, they're healthier, fresher, and more satisfying. The secret to all of this is preparation and routine. Amish cooks don't wait until they're hungry to start cooking. They plan ahead, keep basic ingredients stocked, and maintain a rhythm that turns cooking into a craft instead of a chore. Their kitchens are always active, dough rising in a bowl, soup simmering on the stove, eggs cooling in a basket. It's a living system, not a last-minute scramble. When you make your own food, you're not just saving money. You're gaining independence. You're not at the mercy of supply chains or price hikes. You're in control. And the Amish have proven that this old way of living is not only possible, it's powerful. Because when you cook with your own hands, you feed more than just your body. You feed your home with peace, purpose, and pride. Waste nothing. How the Amish turn scraps into savings. One of the most underestimated yet powerful Amish kitchen hacks is their relentless commitment to zero waste. In the modern kitchen, it's easy to toss out vegetable peels, chicken bones, stale bread, or leftovers from last night's dinner. But in the Amish home, almost nothing is thrown away, because everything, no matter how small, has a second life. This mindset doesn't just save money, it creates a deeper awareness of food, gratitude, and resourcefulness that modern households have nearly forgotten. Start with vegetable scraps, peels from carrots, ends of onions, celery tops, herb stems. All are saved in a container in the fridge or freezer and used to make rich, flavorful broth. After simmering, the solids are composted or fed to chickens. Chicken bones and leftover meat, they're boiled down with vinegar and spices into nourishing bone broth. Even pork or beef fat is rendered into cooking lard. Nothing is wasted, because waste is seen as disrespectful to the land and the labor that produced the food. Stale bread is never tossed. It becomes breadcrumbs, croutons, or the base for Amish bread pudding. Fruit that's gone soft is stewed with a little sugar into pie filling, jam, or syrup. Leftover mashed potatoes become the base for pancakes. Sour milk? That's used in baking or fed to pigs. Even coffee grounds, eggshells, and wood ashes have their place, enriching the garden soil or serving as natural cleaning agents. The Amish don't see trash. They see opportunity. This mindset also shapes how they approach portion sizes and cooking. Meals are planned to be eaten in full or turned into something new the next day. Leftover roast beef becomes hash or stew. Leftover vegetables go into a soup or casserole. Extra pie crust scraps are baked with cinnamon sugar as a treat. Every part of the kitchen is part of a cycle, not a one-way street from pantry to plate to trash. The result? A home that saves hundreds of dollars a year without even realizing it. A kitchen where meals stretch further, garbage bags fill slower, and families learn the value of every crumb. The icebox mentality, keeping food cold without constant electricity. One of the most fascinating Amish kitchen hacks revolves around cold food storage without relying on a traditional refrigerator. In communities that avoid electricity, refrigeration looks completely different, but the goal remains the same: preserve freshness, prevent spoilage, and do it affordably. While some Amish do use propane-powered fridges or solar-powered chest freezers, many stick to methods passed down from the 1700s: ice houses, cold pantries, spring boxes, and root cellars. This isn't about being old-fashioned. It's about being efficient, independent, and off-grid smart. For the Amish, cold storage isn't just about convenience. It's about survival, stewardship, and mastering the environment instead of being enslaved by it. These ancient tricks prove that low-tech isn't low quality. It's just smarter, quieter, and built to last. Kitchen as classroom: how Amish children learn to cook by age 5. In the Amish world, the kitchen isn't just a place to cook. It's a place to train the next generation, and that may be the most overlooked hack of all. From the moment they can stand on a stool and hold a spoon, Amish children are brought into the kitchen not as bystanders but as contributors. By the age of 5, many Amish girls are kneading dough, washing vegetables, and helping measure ingredients. Boys, too, often learn to churn butter, gather eggs, or help fetch wood for the cook stove. This early exposure isn't optional. It's part of daily life, and it builds a lifetime of confidence, skill, and responsibility without any formal class or screen time. Amish children don't learn to cook from cookbooks or YouTube tutorials. They learn by watching their mothers, aunts, grandmothers, and older siblings. They absorb techniques by sight and rhythm: how to test bread dough with a poke of the finger, how to judge biscuit doneness by smell, or how to mix by hand until the batter feels right. These are tactile, intuitive skills that can't be replaced by timers and gadgets, and because they participate daily, they build muscle memory and efficiency from a young age. This immersion also teaches them respect for ingredients and gratitude for meals. When a child helps peel apples for a pie or churn cream into butter, they're less likely to waste food or take it for granted. They see the process, the labor, and the value. And when they're praised for a job well done, even something as small as folding napkins or stirring a pot, they feel pride, not just in the food, but in their contribution to the family. It's not unusual for Amish girls to be baking full meals by age 12 and managing the family kitchen by 15. This early training also supports another powerful Amish principle: self-sufficiency. By the time a child reaches adulthood, they're fully capable of feeding a large family, running a kitchen, and managing supplies without stress or dependence on restaurants or prepackaged meals. This readiness ensures that when they marry and start households of their own, they hit the ground running and never have to ask, "How do I make dinner?" The kitchen has already taught them everything they need to know. In a modern world where kids are often kept out of the kitchen and then sent to college unable to boil an egg, the Amish method stands as a brilliant hack. Train early, involve often, let them learn through living, and by the time they're grown, they won't need cookbooks. They'll have tradition in their hands. The heart of the home: why Amish kitchens still work better without modern distractions. The final and perhaps most profound Amish kitchen hack has nothing to do with tools, recipes, or ingredients. It's about atmosphere, the quiet, sacred way the Amish kitchen functions as the heart of the home. There are no televisions mounted on the wall, no smartphones buzzing with notifications, no podcasts or playlists filling the air. What you hear instead is the rhythm of chopping vegetables, the gentle bubbling of soup, the creak of floorboards, and the sound of conversation or quiet humming. The Amish kitchen works better because it's free of noise, not just literal noise, but the mental clutter of modern life. Without screens to distract, cooking becomes focused and intentional. Meals aren't thrown together while multitasking. They are created with presence, with a certain stillness that feels almost spiritual. Children ask questions, elders tell stories, Women exchange baking tips across the counter while folding dough. Husbands walk through to refill coffee and linger to chat. It's a space where time slows down and family reconnects. And because the kitchen is often the warmest room in the house, both in temperature and spirit, it naturally becomes the gathering place. Even cleaning is approached with care and rhythm. Counters are cleared after every meal. Cast iron pans are seasoned and wiped, not tossed into a dishwasher. Towels are hung with purpose. Tables are cleared and wiped by hand. The whole process becomes a dance, predictable, satisfying, and shared. The Amish kitchen endures because it is built not just to feed, but to gather, to teach, and to anchor the home in love and discipline. That's the final hack. Turn your kitchen back into the heart of the house and watch every part of your life grow stronger around it.